Last week, some of these gentlemen may have sealed their fate.
The loser of that game leaves the WSL forever.
What does the Prophet have to gain, my friend? Nothing.
I'll be willing to put all of my stock in the World Skating League Incorporated up next to it, which means that if we should somehow happen to lose, you've got the whole thing.
With the league as the ante, Logan D'Amato surely have something up their sleeves.
Yo, man, the Prophet F up. Marky D and KO3 are gonna make him feel ill. Or is it me that's gonna feel ill?
Not only will I get to humiliate that Benedict Nasty, I will watch the Prophet's life fall into ruin. I love myself.
But the Prophet's holding a killer hand.
Tap, 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 tap. Oh, I'm sorry to have to put this last nail in your coffin, Mr. Logue, but Mark D'Amato built it for you, and you happily crawled right in, didn't you?
His ace in the hole is starving for a shot at his former commander, who is skating at 50%.
Yo, enforcers, the big nasty's in the driver's seat, and it's gonna run you over again and again and again and again and again.
Look for some strange faces on the enforcers to pick up the slack. That is, if they're not too busy picking up their body parts. The enforcers and Sundogs skate for the league next on Rollerjam. The packed house tonight to see this game between the New York Enforcers and the Florida Sundogs. I'm Rory Marcus along with Mark Lloyd. There's a lot at stake tonight, including the championship belt in this league and a chance for the Prophet to either cement his power as president of the Sundogs and new commissioner of the league, or be gone for good if somehow the Enforcers can pull off a win.
Yeah, it is championship night. Not only the belt on the line tonight, but also KL3 and D'Amato could be gone. The Prophet, he could be gone. Hopefully he's not. A lot at stake tonight. Sold out place. I'm ready to go.
Geez, it'd be awful if the Prophet had to leave. KL3, Kenneth Logue III. That's who we're talking about. Tim Washington, a former enforcer who put on the gold uniform of the Sundogs and won their last game, which came down to a match race between he and the Yak Attack, and you can see how tough it was. However, Washington staggered across that line first, and the Sundogs won and held on to the belt.
It really was the last man standing there, Rory. That's who won. It was the Big Nasty.
It was the Big Nasty, and he'll be in a Sundog uniform tonight. In fact, here they come, the Florida Sundogs. And into the building they come. We've seen it so many times, it's like deja vu. Bill Barker onto the track, leading the Dogs. Big smile on his face. There's Julie Amazon. What have you been able to find out about her, my young friend?
How about nothing? Parts unknown?
Well, what do you do during the day? You're supposed to look into these kind of things.
I'm obviously not very good at it.
Julie Amazon, we know that she's big and tough and ready to go all the time.
I think she might be like a witness relocation thing. Maybe I'll go with that.
Good guess. Here come the rest of the Sundogs men. There's Julie Amazon. I'd hate to know what they had to protect her from. Maybe these two guys are undercover. K9 and disabled.
And you know what? They play tough always, Roy, but now, with everything on the line, look out tonight.
And look at the Prophet. He's jumping up and down like a little kid with a new toy at Christmas time. And his new toy is the Big Nasty. The big yellow cupcake, Tim Washington.
And what a match this is tonight. Everything that's on the line, and the Big Nasty looks like he's ready to play.
Well, he's no question ready to play. The Prophet hopes he's ready to win. And right now the Prophet is with Broadway Danny Wolf.
All right, we're ready for the biggest game in league history. And this is much bigger than just a title up for grabs. The whole league is up for grabs. And Prophet, what's at stake for you? If you win the game, I guess the league is yours. There'll be no more Logue and no more D'Amato to worry about. But if you lose, you are gone forever, buddy, and forever is a very long time.
Oh, Danny, as a manager and as a commissioner, I can only touch a few lost souls. But with full ownership, Big Nasty, full and complete ownership, I can change my path of wholesomeness to an interstate of wholesomeness. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it, Danny. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. So saith the Prophet.
Don't lose control in the infield. Back to you, Rory.
He has a future as a bobblehead doll, I think. My goodness, you talk about a grinning idiot. The Prophet, he fits the bill. Here come the New York Enforcers. The Prophet better not have too big a smile because here comes a bag of kitty litter with the Hellcat.
And she wants to bury some of the Sundogs in that kitty litter tonight.
Sure glad we got one of the name brands. Talisa Miller, the Hellcat. And now the rest of the New York Enforcers. They need something in this game because as badly as they want to win, they're banged up. They are decimated by injuries and controversy.
And you know what? They're just outmatched, outmanned right now with what the Sundogs have to offer. They're no match for them tonight.
They have a lot of grit, this team does, and some pretty good jammers, and they still have D'Amato. And, of course, the bongo playing KL3. But I don't know if it'll be enough. D'Amato, I still think he's looking pretty good for a guy in need of a kidney transplant.
You know what? It looks like he took like a shot at Novocaine or something tonight because he's looking good.
He may have. He may very well have taken a shot of something. And big number 19's ready to go. Maybe this is the guy that supplies the shots. Broadway Danny Wolf's going to try and talk to that fool. Go ahead, Broadway.
Try to get Mark D'Amato over here. And Mark, everything is on the line tonight. This is the last game you're scheduled to skate.
That's right, Danny. And I am going to retire a championship. I'm a champion. I'm going to wear that belt home tonight. This is the happiest day of my life.
KL3, we see you're here. And what are these you're holding? It says contract and close. What is this?
Well, you know, KL3 and Marky D believe it's always best to be prepared. Not that we need any help in winning this championship, but if the Prophet decides to play by a different set of rules, we've got a few skaters held in reserve that might help things out.
All right, well, we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see what he's got, who he's got, what names are in there. Back to you, Rory.
We may find out before the night's over, and a string of happy days for Mark D'Amato, culminating in today, the happiest day of his life. If he can beat that guy and those guys and this team, we'll find out. It's all on the line when we come back. We're back at Rollerjam Arena, and we're just about to start this game with everything on the line. Somebody's going to be gone from this league for good. As Danny Wolf would say, forever is a very long time. Right now, he's with Kenneth Logue III.
Well, I think that's KL3 now. We see you're holding these. There's 3 contracts here. Looks like you're pulling the first one out.
Yes, little D, the moment has come to open the first of our 3 contract envelopes here. You know, we've all watched in wonder as the Prophet has attempted to lead Lindsey Francis back down the path of the straight and narrow. But you can't help but notice that that path doesn't seem to lead all the way here. Where might she be, I wonder?
Hey, he's saying, where might...
They're looking pretty smug. That fire, that's got to mean something. Oh,
my, that's Lindsey!
The fire is back in the WSL. Now they've got a chance.
What a lift for the Enforcers.
Now they've got a real chance. And the Prophet just burped up his last milkshake.
How you doing?
Lindsey, what are you doing? This is a shocker.
I'm so glad you asked. Actually, I had something to say to the Mr. Prophet over there. Hey, sweet cheeks. I guess your plan backfired. Listen, the only reason I went along with your little game is because I kind of thought you were a hottie with maybe some potential, but forget it.
Unbelievable. Lindsey Francis going to skate on the enforcers. Who else do you have in there? This is incredible.
At the proper time, Little D, at the proper time.
Oh, back to you, Rory and Mark.
Thanks, Little D. And what a shocker that was for that guy, huh? She thought he had potential for what?
He's heaving up maybe that milkshake that you talked about.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Either that or somebody dropped a penny in there. All right, the women are on the track, and we're about ready to start this game. And here we go. Belinda Morgan jumps out there for the Sundogs. And there's Lindsey Francis. It's good to see her back skating and instead of walking around like an old lady. Francis and Belinda Morgan.
And you know what, Roy? She hasn't skated in 2 months. We'll see if she's able to knock the rust off.
Now tell me, Mark, does that look like a rusty girl to you?
No, that does not. But watch yourself, Roy.
All right, Lindsey knocks down Belinda Morgan. And she's going to try and put the enforcers right on the board right away. Julie Amazon, parts unknown. Katie Cooper back there to block. And Francis trying to muscle her way through. Oh, big assist from the Hellcat. Oh, then the Hellcat jumps down again. And she's working over Cooper. She's flinging right hands in there. Lindsey got the points. Look at the Prophet pleading with her. Please come back to the good side. Come on, I'll buy you a new toaster.
She's teasing him. She's taunting him, the Prophet.
It's not going to work. 4 big points scored by the enforcers there. He needs to cool off. He needs to cool off. He has a bad taste in his mouth. There they go again. Francis against Cooper and Belinda Morgan with the Hellcat sneaking up from behind, ready to pounce. And she does it. And I'll tell you what, she's going to do it all night long for this enforcer team because she's probably the best in the league.
And you know what? You can tell her spirits are lifted too with the return of Lindsey Francis out there.
This crowd's kind of stunned right now, Mark, and they didn't come here expecting to see Lindsey Francis tonight.
I didn't come here expecting to see her.
Lindsey is moving up on the jam along with the Hellcat, who takes that lethal helmet off and whack right into the back of the head of Amazon. And she looks over the pack and says, here, I've got some more if you want it. But they didn't need it because Francis goes through there and picks up a whole bunch of them. Across the infield they cut. And here comes the trash can out. They might as well put the Prophet in that can and take him out too.
The enforcers mean business tonight. They realize what's on the line. Prophet's team is in shambles right now.
Any team that D'Amato's running is going to come up in a big way in a championship game. It's always been that way. Lindsey likes this new allegiance with the enforcers. It appears, a big smile on her face. And D'Amato, he knows he's played a big card here. And don't forget, he's got a couple more aces up his sleeve in those envelopes that KL3's holding.
And I think you're right. I think the crowd's a little shocked. The sold-out place here over that, Rory.
Well, it's 12-0 enforcers, and that is very shocking. And Francis is out there again against Belinda Morgan. And Morgan saying, man, I thought I'd have an easy night tonight. Not so. Lindsey Francis scooting around that track. She's already had a big first period, but this time, give the props to Belinda Morgan. April Tootle and Brooke Sunderman. April Tootle's been a big jammer in France's absence, and now she's back to blocking again and setting things up with a Hellcat. Boy, you talk about getting hit in midair and knocked out of there. That's what happened to Morgan.
That was a 3-on-1 to Morgan just did. Did she pay the price?
I don't know.
And the kitty litter.
Oh, my.
Oh, that's nasty.
I wish they'd have saved that for the Prophet. That's an insulting thing to do to somebody. I don't know if Belinda Morgan really deserves that kind of treatment. Certainly the Prophet does. But the first period has come to an end, and the enforcers are shutting them out. 12-0. They're killing him. He's back in a good mood again. As a matter of fact, everybody in black's in a good mood right now, but this guy's in a horrible mood. Things are not turning out the way the Prophet had envisioned it. Mark D'Amato, they're thick as thieves, aren't they? D'Amato and KL3, and look at that shot. And then the insult added to injury. The kitty litter on top of Belinda Morgan. We said she didn't deserve it. I still don't think she deserves it. And by God, I hope she's not about to use it. We'll be back. Stay with us. This was quite a sight, and this was something unbelievable to the Prophet, who thought he had Lindsey Francis converted. But you know, when you're talking about a Prophet, either you got faith or you got unbelief, and there is no neutral ground. And Francis has gone all the way back to the New York Enforcers. The key matchup now with the men on the bank track. D'Amato, can he get rid of this guy once and for all? He said earlier it's the happiest day of his life. You'd never know it, so look at that mug, would you? That old boll weevil just wants to win another game and rid himself of another nuisance. But the Prophet, well, I don't think we've ever seen him when he's not smiling, except for when Lindsey came out, when he started crying. But I have a feeling, well, we'll wait and see. I hope his days are numbered in this league. But we'll have to wait and find out. They fall hard when they fall. Now back down to little D.
All right, thank you, Big RM. And KL, boy, this is getting confusing. KL3, you surprised the you-know-what out of us with Lindsey Francis. You have 2 more contracts. Who's next?
You know, Marky D gets the props for this one, so I think I'll let him get jiggy with it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey, Prophet, let me tell you something. Prophet, just when you think you've got all the answers, I changed the questions. Got that? The next contract, you know, the score, we are way ahead. We don't even need to do this, but I think just for fun, we're going to open the next envelope. Bring out the next skater. Oh, what a surprise. None other than my brother, Sean Atkinson.
You've got to be kidding me. The Ack Attack.
The Ack Attack. We thought his career was over last week when he skated his final game with the Quakes.
What is this, an encore?
He'll do anything for his brother. That should be known fact by now, since he's going to give him his kidney, and now he's going to put that Enforcer uniform on and come out here to try and take the Prophet down.
I'm going to take a look at each and every word on this contract, Kenneth Logue III, just you what?
Oh, my, back to Rory.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. Too bad. He's been so smug. Things have gone his way since he arrived on the scene until tonight. He sure seems to think it's funny when it goes his way, but now he's like a screaming baby.
I think he's calling his lawyer now to try to figure it out.
Somebody give that poor kid a bottle. All right, 12-0. Enforcers. That's right, 12-0 as the men's period starts. We talked about the Enforcers being shorthanded. Well, now you've got Lindsey Francis, Sean Atkinson, and there's another name in that envelope still to come, I think.
I know, I can't imagine who it is. And the Big Nasty versus the Ack Attack tonight, and look how big the Nasty looks in that yellow uniform. He looks like a monster out there.
He sure does. So do K9 and Disable, really, when they're matched up against Travis Wills. We've already seen the kitty litter. Somebody ought to throw those 2 guys a dog bone. But they're out there to try and tighten the score. Oh, going to be able to do it because the brotherly love comes through. D'Amato, Atkinson, take them down hard.
Oh!
Now, there's no reason to do that.
There it is. Look what's on the line, Rory. The belt, the league.
The play was over. No score on either side. But it's still 12-0. The Sundogs can't afford to just have scoreless jams now. Washington and Atkinson are staring at each other.
Look at them squared off. Those are two big guys, the 2 biggest here in the WSL.
Skate your game.
There's the Prophet trying to get the Vatican on the phone, but he can't get through. Look at this play. Wow.
I can't believe K9 and Disable got up after that. I guess that's why they wear that armor, huh?
D'Amato said this was the happiest day of his life. It might be Atkinson's happiest day because he's getting one more chance to skate. Second jam of the second period. The black helmeted jammers all got out of the pack this time. They're the only ones that can score points. The guys with the black helmets, they do it by lapping members of the opposing team, and the Sundogs now have the only 2 jammers eligible to score because they're going to get out there and get to the back of that pack. The brothers, Sam Martin and Micah Martin. against Atkinson and D'Amato now. The Sundogs still don't have even 1 point in this game.
Oh, there's a Big Nasty.
Now they're going to get some. The Big Nasty saw to that. And look at the Prophet. He's dancing a jig in the infield. Isn't he happy?
You talk about strength. You know, forget it. There's nobody bigger and better than the Nasty. Taking out both those brothers just in.
I agree. That's a tall order, and he did it. Atkinson goes back over to the enforcer bench and says, who are all these people? I've never been on this team. Look at the Big Nasty do the job, though, and that got the Martin brothers 3 each. That's a big 6 on the board for the Dogs and cuts the lead in half. 1 more jam to go here in this half, and Mark D'Amato himself, bad kidneys and all, puts on that Jammers helmet, and he's going to say, hey, I've had a good life. Oh, look out, Mark, look out.
Jeez.
Atkinson just put the bench up here on the announcer's booth.
That one of the brothers.
What are you doing, Sean? Now he's got a, no, not me, no.
Hey, I'm cool.
No.
You're number
Take
1.
it out on the track. Go on to the track, go get him. He throws the helmet in. Go get him, go on. Atkins has got that helmet off.
Look out, Big Nasty.
Trash can down on Washington. He doesn't even have skates on. He's running around the track. He's telling his brother D'Amato, come on, let's go get some more. Oh, we're going to get them all.
You gotta be kidding me.
Woo! What a play.
He didn't have the skates on. He's running around the big track.
D'Amato fans in the stands, Atkinson fans all over the place. And the enforcers getting more points. It's halftime.
Man.
What a moment. Not a very good moment for that guy. It's 14-6. Enforcers don't go away now. We've got more coming up and going down. In case you're not up to date on World Skating League current events, check out Rollerjam Rewind.
This league gets f***ed up. Christ, my brother needs a new kidney. The Prophet's in charge. Man, I just need a change.
Tonight's going to be my final game. Mark D'Amato needs a kidney, and I'm going to give it to him.
Unbelievable announcement earlier. A shocker, Sean.
Wake team's going to continue on. I'm leaving it in very capable hands. My new men's captain, Posse Shalene.
I think the time has come to put away the championships, put away the belts, because it's bringing about negativity.
Next week, when the enforcers face the Sundogs, I'm going to take that title, and I'm going to retire a champion.
I never knew that sin had such bad breath.
You think you're funny? I'm going to do you one better. The loser of that game leaves the WSL forever.
What does the Prophet have to gain, my friend? Nothing.
Let's make this wager interesting, shall we? We should somehow happen to lose.
Not going to happen.
You've got the whole thing. You got the building, the skaters, the logo, everything. You can make whatever private paradise you want out of it. If you lose, you give up any control and go back to whatever nightmare it was you crawled out of. Deal?
We'll fill out the paperwork. Thank you, Danny.
Everyone has Sean Atkinson, of course, on their minds as we start the second half.
We're dedicating this last period to Sean Atkinson because he's been so good to us.
It's the happiest day of my life. My brother Sean, he's going to donate the kidney. Second of all, the reason I'm happy is because I'm going to be here to watch Sean win his last game. There you go, bro.
What happened in the skybox of the Prophet? Did you strike a deal?
I'm up in the box with that freak up there, and we struck a deal to get rid of him once and for all.
And it's absolute bedlam down here, and I guess, Sean, your last jam coming up in your career, and I guess you wouldn't want it any other way.
Hey, wait. Let's win this one. Let's take it home. Guys, get ready to give an ass whooping, Hack Attack style.
Yeah, my brother Mark's going to risk his life to take out the Prophet once and for all. Well, Prophet, you can bet your sweet ass that if anything happens, I'm going to bury you 6 feet under.
Broadway Danny Wolf now in the infield, and he's with the Prophet.
Yeah, and Prophet, I got to ask you, you were on the phone with your attorneys. What'd they say about these contracts?
First of all, I would like to thank my attorneys, Jackie O'Leary and Melanie Hurt, the best attorneys that money can buy. And I talked to them, and they went through every book they could, and I talked to them about every word of this contract. And Danny, I don't want to cry on your stove, but it's all legitimate. It's all legitimate. He is a sneaky, shady man. You are a shady man, Kenneth Logue III. But you know what? You can have any contract you want. But you can't have Big Nasty. You can't have Tim Big Nasty Washington, no matter what you signed or no matter what you wrote, Mark D'Amato.
Compose yourself. Jeez. Big Nasty, what do you think about all this?
Big Nasty, excuse me. Hey, brother. Oh, Daddy's back in town. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh.
What happened to the peace-loving Prophet?
That's you?
What's wrong with that guy?
He wanted a piggyback or something.
Look at it. He's going to get hurt down there. Atkinson will take him out, but good.
Get out of here. Get back.
What a moron. Can you believe he jumped in there? That, in 1 minute, he's a crying baby sniveling about a contract, and the next minute he's jumping somebody from behind.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm acting like the Prophet now.
Yeah, you are.
Jeez.
Tim Washington and Mark D'Amato used to be teammates. These two guys know how to prepare for a game, and they do it in different ways. The Enforcers, Mark D'Amato, and Big Nasty Tim Washington were arguably the most devastating duo ever to grace the bank track. But Big Nasty jumped ship and joined the Sundogs, and since then has spent every waking moment envisioning D'Amato's demise. Meanwhile, in preparation for facing Nasty, D'Amato got enough rest for all of the wicked.
Man. Hey, knock it off in there.
Washington trained as a stormtrooper of death. D'Amato continued to enjoy being the lord of self-indulgence.
Quadfather, you are looking good. Just one more little... Perfect. All right. A little blow dry.
Just like in a game, Nasty devoured anything that he came in contact with. While D'Amato took all the necessary precautions to make sure that things were done according to his plan.
The orange must be cut from the top to the bottom, and each slice is perfectly in proportion. We bring our glass over, and we squeeze so gently as to release the juices.
Nasty spent days reveling in pain. While the sadist, who exists only to inflict pain, remained content. For Nasty, fine-tuning his muscles became his life. While D'Amato, the survivor, only did what was imperative to get by.
Oh, my back. Gee, where is this elevator anyway? Where is it? I am not taking the stairs again.
Tonight they are on opposing sides. Who do you think will survive? It's still hard to look at Sean Atkinson in a black uniform and the New York Enforcers. Well, the Enforcers lead this game 14-6. Stay right with us. We're coming back. 14-6. Enforcers lead the second half. Even as we speak, it's underway, and they're skating out of that pack. and the Hellcat doing damage already. This game has been dominated, controlled from the opening whistle by the New York Enforcers.
It really has, Roy. It looks like the Enforcers wanted more. You would have thought the Sundogs would be playing harder with everything that's on the line.
That's because they're skating for a false leader, the Prophet. When it comes down to it, the Enforcers are going to want it more. And Lindsey Francis back where she belongs on the bank track. Instead of walking around with that old grandmother's sweater. It's fine for grandmother, but not Lindsey.
You know what, Roy? The Prophet called Washington a shady character. Something's going on. Where did they get all these new contracts from, though?
You didn't think it was so shady when the Prophet was doing it. Now, here's a big block put on by the Hellcat. Francis, did she get the points or not? Belinda Morgan's jumped up. She's jamming for the Sundogs with 5 seconds left in the jam. She goes by Medrano and April 2 and got a couple. She might have gotten more than a couple. She gets 3. 3 points. She's knocked that kitty litter off her back, and there they go again. You know the Hellcat's in the middle of it.
Always.
With Katie Cooper. You're right, always. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as they're wearing the opposing uniform.
If she could fight the guys, she would. It's about time Corbin did his job, too, huh?
Look at this guy. Your time is limited, buddy. I have a feeling. Once again, the Hellcat with a big hit. Talisa Miller, you just said it. She would fight anybody, including the guys. And maybe she'll take a swipe at Broadway Danny Wolf.
Sure hope not. But I gotta say, Talisa, you guys have brought Lindsey Francis in tonight and Sean Atkinson. There's one more contract. Do you have any clue who the third person is?
Are you doubting us? We don't need no other players. We're up and up. Look at the scoreboard, Danny.
Yeah,
Can you see?
Yeah, you're up by 5 big points. Also, what was with the kitty litter over Belinda Morgan's head? You have to do that, Hellcat.
Oh, that's my own little personal touch.
You got more of that coming up this season?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, look at these eyes.
Did you see Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway was a little intimidated there. Sometimes you got to know your limitations when you're overmatched. 14-9, the Enforcers by 5. Katie Cooper gets knocked down and slung down by the Hellcat, who just smiles about it. That sound you hear is Atkinson banging the bench on the track. And look at the speed. They called for Lindsey Francis to get out there, and there she goes. All by herself on this jam. If she passes members of the Sundogs and laps them on the track, she gets that point for everyone she passes. So far, she hasn't been able to get by. That's a big double block set up by Cooper and Amazon. Oh, and it's a little smaller when the trash can lid comes out. Ooh, another one. Oh, here's for good measure. And she slams that thing down.
Did you see that lid, how much it was bent?
Yeah, I saw it, and it was bent over somebody's head.
Yeah.
Namely, Julie Amazon.
Ladies, it's okay, ladies.
The Prophet seeing things just go astray for his flock tonight. 16-9, Enforcers again build up a big lead. And there's only one jam left in the women's period. Maybe Miller's right. Maybe they don't need whoever else they've signed to a contract.
One more,
But I know D'Amato, he'll do it just to rub it in.
You're absolutely right. They don't want to win, Roy. They want to blow them out tonight.
There's KL3. Talisa Miller, the Hellcat with Belinda Morgan. Ooh, Morgan with a cat-like quickness there. Put Morgan over the, Miller over the rail.
And that showed right there that Sundogs aren't going to give up. They're not going to go down easy.
They're pros. They can't help it who their coach is, at least for the most part. Belinda Morgan scooting up there to the back of the pack. D'Amato just handed the Hellcat another trash can lid. I sure would like to know where he gets those. She's showing it to the crowd, and the crowd loves it. The Prophet's jumping up and down like a little baby boy trying to get Sean Corbin to do something about it. She accidentally hit Lindsey Francis. It backfired. It backfired in a big way, and the Sundogs are getting a whole bunch of points while Lindsey tries to get up.
4 points for the Sundogs, Roy. They're back in this game.
That won't make the Hellcat very happy, will it? That was predictable. As soon as she accidentally hit her own player, you knew she'd fight with somebody.
And you know what? She's really had it in for Katie Cooper. Oh, there she goes again.
I know it. Just as Cooper was saying, hey, why are you picking on me? She went over and jumped on Julie Amazon. The period is over. That ought to be the motto of our league. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
The third period is over, and this guy might have only 3 jams left in his reign at the bank track. 16-13. Enforcers leading it. Don't go away now. The Prophet has the belt. He might be thinking about trying to run out of the building with it. Atkinson and D'Amato talking things over. 1 period left to go, and it's all on the line right here. And boy, I wish we could find out in advance somehow who's going to win this thing, because it's hard to wait, but we're going to have to wait 3 more jams. 16-13. Enforcers leading it.
And you know what? I want to know whose contract is in that third envelope. Who are they going to bring out next?
I don't know. Maybe they don't need it. But maybe they will pull it out for one last jam or something along those lines. Only 2 jams left after this one. And Travis Wills has a chance to add to the Enforcer lead. Although he's like a pesky little bug against K9 and Disable right now. Still, he has Atkinson on his side tonight. Oh, and that makes a big difference. The Ack attack takes down 2, and Wills gets the 2 points. Watch out, coming up from behind him is the Big Nasty.
Come on, guys.
As they celebrate. 18-13 now, Enforcers by 5, and there are only 2 jams to go, and Atkinson, as always, sacrificing his body. Well, he won't need that kidney much longer anyway.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be any good, Rory.
Give it to D'Amato. That's like buying it at the Salvation Army. It still works, but it's not the same as it used to be. All right, 2 jammers out there for both teams now, 18-13. Enforcers by 5. Can they hold on to this lead? 2 jammers out there for the Enforcers, and now there's only 1, but none for the Sundogs. Travis Wills in the next to last jam of the night. Back there against K9 and Disable again. Last time Atkinson helped them get through and scored 2.
You know what, Rory? Sundogs don't even have anybody out in front. How are they going to score?
They're not. Not on this jam. Wills just got 1, and now another one because D'Amato took care of him. Did he call it off? Yeah, he called it off. He got 2 more. He got 2 more, and look at D'Amato. Look at Mark D'Amato with the championship on the line. He knows now he's only 1 jam away from getting rid of the Prophet.
You can see the intensity out there, and the Enforcers, they are dominating this game right now, led by Mark D'Amato.
7-point lead for the Enforcers. KL3 still had 1 name left in that envelope, and Broadway Danny Wolf might find out now who it is.
Well, we'll sure try. What a game on the line. The future of this league on the line in this last jam. Enforcers up by 7 big points. Are we going to find out who the name is, the last name in the envelope, Kenneth?
This is a great game, Danny. It's going so well. I'm completely pleased with everybody that's on this track right now. It'll stay the way it is.
All right, good luck in the last jam. League is on the line. Back to you, Rory and Mark.
It turned out they didn't need him after all. At least that's what Logue thinks right now. A 7-point lead with 1 jam remaining. Stay right with us. It's 20-13 Enforcers.
Now it's time for the 3D Army Mid-Air Attack of the Game. Watch as the skateless Sean Atkinson does his best Greg Louganis impersonation. Notes, indoor trash can and crushing blow. It's the 3D Army Mid-Air Attack of the Game.
1 jam to go. 20-13. The New York Enforcers leading. The Big Nasty has 1 more chance to pull it out for the Sundogs. Lindsey Francis and the Enforcers know that if they win this game, that's it for the Prophet. Humpty Dumpty will have taken 1 last big fall. And there we go. The Enforcers send D'Amato and Atkinson, the brotherly act out there. against K9 and Disable. The Sundogs really have to send 2 jammers out, because if they don't, they can't get the 7 points they need to tie this thing.
Yeah, they put out the brother combination there to try to get those points, because you're right, Roy. They need 7 just to tie right now.
That's right, and the Prophet knows it too, and he's praying to whoever he can. Here go. Oh, Washington took down his own jammers by mistake. Washington took him down.
He doesn't seem too concerned.
There's no way the Sundogs can win now. Atkinson celebrating, D'Amato celebrating as though the game's already over. The Prophet's looking around as though to say, what happened? Hey, here's the big man I signed to keep me around here, and it's all gone astray.
Look at they're celebrating. Look at the Big Nasty.
The Big Nasty looks almost
is he stunned?
Confused or something. He knocked his own jammers down. His team has lost the game. He has to be ruining the day he ever put on a Sundog uniform, because, let's face it, he had a home at one time with the Enforcers. Broadway Danny Wolf, find out what you can.
Well, it's pandemonium down here. Big Nasty, what are your thoughts? You lost the game.
Whoa, wait a second. We didn't lose the game. We didn't lose the game. Because you know what? Oh, once you go black, you never go back. You gotta be kidding me.
It was all
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this ending. How about that? The Prophet has the belt. He has the championship belt. He's going to have to give it up. That was the 3rd name in that envelope that KL3 said we don't even have to pull it out. The Big Nasty was a double agent all along.
Man.
He infiltrated the Prophet's little love camp. He picks up that contract and says, it was me all along. Too bad for you. And now the Prophet's trying to run. You can run, but you cannot hide. You should know that by now, my friend.
Oh!
He's trying to get away.
He's pretty good right now, though.
Not bad, but where's he gonna go? His days have ended. We're gonna follow him. We'll follow him out of the bank track. He still has the championship belt. Don't let that guy out of the building. Somebody down in the locker room area is gonna have to stop him. Why doesn't Atkinson or Washington or D'Amato? He's got a car. He's got to go.
I hate you, and I hope
He won't give the belt up. He's going to try to escape.
I hope you're right now.
There he goes. He's out of the building. And there he goes. Good riddance. He took the belt, but I hope that's the last time we ever see him. Ever. And if I never saw those 2 guys, I wouldn't miss them either. Sean Atkinson, the Ack Attack, you won the game. Don't worry about it. We'll have a new belt made, and you can have it. The Enforcers have Washington back. They've won the game 22-13, and the Prophet chased out of the building. That's just a poetic justice, I think. Let's hope he drives straight into the ocean. We'll recover the belt at a later date. And Atkinson, somehow he'll recover his senses, although he's mad right now. We'll see you next time on Rollerjam.